Hey there, I'm Dr. Deb of Dr. Deb Explains, Learning Strategies Department Chair and Learning Frameworks Instructor. You're watching the 7th video in a series of transition issues that new college students often face. In today's video, I'm answering two big questions. How do you know if you're working too much? And what can you do if you have to work while in college? I'm discussing the effects of working in college, as well as the theory of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the learning theory of spaced practice, and the social interaction and collaboration principle of working with other students. BC's Total Learning Center presents Dr. Deb Explains, transition issue number 7, working too much. There are 168 hours in every week. During a typical week, we sleep, hopefully 7 or 8 hours a night, eat, work, do classes, either in person or online, do coursework outside of class, reading, studying, have some family or relaxing time, and do our required chores. It's a lot to pack into a week, even with 168 hours available. The key is to have a balance. As we've talked all semester, college comes with new responsibilities that you didn't have before. So now you have to add those duties into your already packed schedule. The key is to find a balance between the number of hours that you have to work and the number of classes that you were taking in school. This may vary every semester, as certain classes may take more work than others. One aspect of your decision that you may want to consider is how long do you want to take to finish? If you have to work 40 hours a week to feed your family, are you okay taking 1 or 2 classes each semester and finishing a 2-year degree in 5 years? Another aspect to consider is how well do you want to do in those classes? Doesn't help you graduate faster if you take more classes and then you fail them because you eventually have to retake them. Maslow's hierarchy of needs may not exactly help with this decision, but it does explain why the issue of work and learning are connected. Abraham Maslow created a hierarchy of human needs that ranks the basic human needs in order from the highest priority for survival at the bottom to the nice-to-have needs at the very top. The lowest level consists of humans' most basic needs: air, food, water, sleep. These are the physiological needs that keep humans alive at the very bottom, and the safety and security needs of housing, safety, employment on the second level. Our brains are wired to protect us and keep us alive, so our focus is on these bottom 2 levels above all else. Therefore, if either of the bottom 2 levels are not met, the brain has a very difficult time focusing on learning or any of the upper levels of human needs on the hierarchy. This has nothing to do with intelligence. The most intelligent person, like Einstein for instance, would not be able to focus on thinking, problem solving, or creating theories like the theory of relativity if his belly was growling or if he didn't know where he would sleep that night. It's our body's natural safety mechanism, much like the fight or flight response, that takes over and limits the functions of the other areas of the body as it strives to satisfy our most basic needs for survival. This is why it's important for you to do 2 things. First, reach out to your campus resources if you're not able to satisfy those bottom basic needs. Getting assistance in this area will allow you to focus on your learning and your classes. And second, if you have to work in order to provide the basic needs for your family, be realistic in how much time you have to devote to your classes when you register. Only take the number of classes that you have time for and can do well in. Or if you don't have to work that much to meet your basic needs and want to graduate faster, consider cutting back on your work hours. Spaced practice involves spacing out your learning or your practice sessions in smaller sessions over a number of days instead of doing all of your learning, studying, homework in 1 or 2 longer sessions over 1 or 2 days. Your performance and your learning increases if you can review notes and practice retrieval in several smaller sessions throughout the week than if you wait until the day or 2 before an exam to study. This is cramming, and it may get you through the exam, but there is no long-term learning happening there. So the material will not be available to you in your long-term memory in the future if you need it for the final exam or your future career. So how does this help if you have to work? Let's face it, you work a lot and you have a lot of responsibilities. How easy is it to find 2 or 3 hours every day to study? It's probably highly unlikely. Now, how easy is it to find 15 or 20 minutes here and there throughout your day? That's a little more doable, isn't it? You can study while you eat lunch, eat breakfast, walk the dog. Fitting in these smaller sessions throughout the day is not only more feasible when you have a busy schedule, but it's also more effective for your learning. Cuseo's third principle for college student success focuses on social interaction and collaboration, and today's topic involves interacting and collaborating with other students. I know you don't have time for that, but it's actually beneficial if you can find time to interact and collaborate with others. And when I'm talking about socially interacting and collaborating, I'm not talking about hanging out and socializing or collaborating by cheating off someone. I'm talking about using other students to help you learn the material better. For example, we've talked about teaching the material to others as a great study technique in order to learn the material. What if after class, you walked to your car with a classmate, and as you walked, you told your classmate what the key points of the lecture was. And in return, your friend tells you what he or she thought the key highlights or key points were. Or what if before class starts, you turn to your neighbor and say, "This is what I think the cause of the Civil War really was." And you see what he or she thinks. These are all ways that you can socially interact and collaborate and improve your learning as well as the learning of your fellow classmates. And none of these suggestions take more than 5 or 10 minutes of your time. The bottom line is that your fellow students are just one more resource that you can utilize to more effectively and efficiently learn what you need to know. This wraps up transition issue number 7. Working too much. In this video, I shared how working too much can affect your success in college, especially considering Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I also shared 2 tips for how to more effectively and efficiently learn by using the learning strategy of spaced practice and the principle of socially interacting and collaborating with your fellow students. If you are interested in more transition issues that new college students often face, tune in for more as Dr. Deb explains.